Welcome back to Bourbon Battles. I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
Hey, if you're new to whiskey at all, or if you've been around for a long time, if there's one thing that everybody wants, every time I go to a liquor store almost I hear it, you got any Blanton's Horsies? So we're going to talk to you today about 10 whiskeys that you can get in place of the elusive Horsie. Stick with us. Ready to get into this?
Yeah.
You like Blanton's, right?
It's not bad.
I like Blanton's. I love it. It's good at retail. It's a beautiful bottle. Looks great on your shelf. What I really like about Blanton's is to have your friends over and taste it. Sip it.
Especially the ones that have never tasted it.
Yeah, if you've got friends that have never tasted Blanton's, you need a bottle of this on your shelf. There's no doubt about it. And I would almost even go as far as say if you have to pay a little bit extra, then you have to pay a little bit extra. As much as I'm against that, but this stinking bottle is the one that you need.
Maybe.
So, but today, that's not the point of what we're doing. Today, we're going to come to you and we're going to show you 10 whiskeys that are readily available that you can get to replace Blanton's instead of. We're not saying they're better. We're saying they're just as good, and it's a great replacement. Anybody that comes over is going to like it.
Matter of fact, you could probably pour a lot of these in a Blanton's bottle, and nobody would ever know a difference.
So you want to go first, bud?
I will.
Just grab any of them.
New Riff Single Barrel. Comes from the New Riff Distillery, Newport, Kentucky. Alex at Red Barrel Liquor's got some of these right now. Single barrel selects, and they're pretty good. And they're at least 4 years old. All bottled at about 110 or 11, 12 proof, something like that. But yeah, for the money, I mean, they're good.
And I'd say the one that Alex currently has is better than Blanton's.
Right.
So next one I want to talk to you about is Michter's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. You know, Michter's has a lot of different expressions. This one's coming to you at 91.4 proof, real similar to Blanton's. This is everywhere.
Most of the time, yeah.
Cheaper than Blanton's at retail. This is good, solid whiskey that's every bit as good as Blanton's. Check out Michter's.
Knob Creek Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It's 100 proof. It's a small batch, 9 years old. Comes from Jim Beam Distillery. It's
peanuts.
Well, I don't get peanuts, but it's as traditional whiskey as. I mean, we're talking about Jim Beam, who is, you know, they've been producing bourbon for as long as anybody's been around. So, yeah, I would say it's worth checking out. Like I said, it's 100 proof, pretty good. And
their store picks, a lot of them are out of this world. Go somewhere you can try it first.
Yeah.
The next thing we want to talk about is Elijah Craig Small Batch coming to you at 94 proof. We did a video on this where we drank it blind against Blanton's, and this beat Blanton's blind. This is half the price or less.
Yeah.
And available everywhere you go.
Yeah, it is.
This stuff is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Coming to you from Heaven Hill. If you don't have a bottle of this and you like whiskey, you need to try it.
Yep. Next up, Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. This stuff's 10 years old. Comes from Old Forester Distillery, Louisville, Kentucky. It's pretty good. It's not a single barrel, but it's aged 10 years, and you know
it's not as good because it's a batch, and it's pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
Check that stuff out. You'll like it. Next thing we want to talk to you about is 1792 single barrel. This stuff comes at 98.6 proof. A little bit harder to find around here.
It is.
But when you do find it, it's fantastic. It's a single barrel, and it holds up. Retails less than Blanton's, and it's fantastic stuff. Check out the 1792.
Next up, guys, if you've watched any of our shows, Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. This is a go-to. It's gone up against this. It won. It's won a lot of stuff, and it's cheap. It's affordable, and for the money, it's one of the best ones you can get. It's 100 proof. Comes from Heaven Hill.
And that's a straight up unicorn killer.
It is, and it's available everywhere. So don't shame it off because it's $16, $17, and it comes in a junk white label. Buy it, try it.
Fantastic. Speaking of unicorn killers, this is one of my favorite unicorn killers, Jim Beam Single Barrel. This bad boy's coming at 108 proof. These things are fantastic. I love them. Sometimes hard to find.
Sometimes.
If you know where to go, you can grab one at any time. Man, this stuff is awesome. I like it probably better than I like Knob Creek a lot of times.
The last one I've got is a Russell's Reserve single barrel. It comes from Wild Turkey. You guys who've been around for a while, you know these are some of the most sought after, and they've gone up significantly in price in the last year. But you know, yeah,
A little easier to find it this way.
it is, and it's not nearly as costly. But either one of these, if you can get the 10-year or the single barrel, they're both very comparable. And I mean, I shouldn't say comparable, but they will both replace the blends that you're looking for and can't find.
Hey, this is what I'm drinking right now. Old Forester 1897 Bottled and Bond, coming out of their Whiskey Roast series. This is probably one of the lesser popular. There's a couple that are definitely more popular, right?
Yeah.
1910, 1920. So a lot of people overlook the 1897 Bottled and Bond. This stuff is fantastic, 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 and it holds up so good against blends.
Yep.
So, hey, we don't want you to, we just want to show you some alternatives to blends. This stuff is good.
It is.
This is as Kentucky bourbon as it gets.
But if you can't find it anywhere, which you're probably not going to be able to because of what's gone on in the last 5 years, there are some alternatives that you guys can have that are equally as good.
Hey, and you know, one of my suggestions would be, if you really want to get your hands on this, you know, roll the dice and go down to the distillery, sign up for a tour, see that place, and maybe that's the day they put Blanton's out.
Could be.
It's a cool place.
Yeah.
So we're not hating on Blanton's. We're just saying there's a lot of things out there that are just as good. They're easy to get and cost a lot less money.
That's true.
Hey, drinking bourbon is supposed to be fun. Do it with your friends. Do it responsibly. You know, sip it. Don't flip it.
She wants her cut.
And if you drink, don't drive.
If you drink, don't drive to the watermelon crawl.